I'm very excited to welcome the one, the only Prajakta to our Virgin Radio studios.
Yay!
Everyone say woo!
Hi, Priti. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for doing this.
I am so happy that you are here right now. It's an exciting time. It's an exciting month for you, isn't it?
Yeah, exciting would be putting it lightly.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's been a little bit like run around the house with your hands flying up, kind of crazy right now. But yeah, I'm very grateful.
So it's been absolutely insane.
It's been quite mad.
You've had a TV show out. You've got a song out. You happen to have a book. Like, there's so many things going on.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's a lot. You know, everybody, every time I meet anyone, they're like, you must be so excited. I said, I mean, are you crazy? I'm freaking out. Like, I don't know how many things I've signed up on. And there are days when I wake up and I'm like, why couldn't I just wake up and do like one job? Like, why couldn't I just keep doing what I was doing and not try to do everything? But then it's not fun otherwise.
And I feel like that's not you.
Yeah, true.
That's not you.
Yeah.
That's not you. Now, you've been to the UAE a few times. Does it feel familiar?
It does actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's like your favorite spots hanging out?
In Abu Dhabi, one of my favorite things to do was we went kayaking in the mangroves.
Nice.
Which was beautiful. We went there during the, it was the golden hour, so the sun was setting. And when I started kayaking, I didn't know it was going to be a 90-minute tour where I have to kayak myself for 90 minutes. So I started, and then midway through, I was like, okay, can we turn now? And they're like, no, whole tour of mangroves, 90 minutes. So by the end, it was fun. But I loved doing it. The weather was just beautiful. The sun was setting. It all looked gorgeous. In Dubai, I like eating.
Where? What's the spot? Hit
My
me.
favorite, I mean, we don't have Din Tai Fung in India.
Okay,
So
yeah, good.
anytime I'm here, I'll go to, like, in Abu Dhabi or in Dubai, I'll go to Din Tai Fung for the soup dumplings. But there's this place called Sane noodles. They do hand pulled noodles.
They're the
They're
best.
the best noodles I've eaten in my life. Also, the baos they have there are
Oh my gosh.
amazing.
I can't believe I found someone else who shares this love.
Dude, I love, and it's pet friendly.
Yes.
Yes, you can take your pet. I mean, I don't have a pet, but GP has a pet and we can take him.
Okay, I order from there so often. On the bag, they write, Priti, thanks for ordering from us all the
You're on
time.
first name basis with Sane,
Yeah.
man. Dude, you're so cool.
Right? They write my name on the bag.
I feel like I need to do that more.
Also, I order through an app, so my name's on it. But that's fine.
Nobody needs to know.
No one needs to know that San Juan loves me. Let's just leave it at that. Now, Prajakta, there's one thing about you. When I talk about you, and especially before this interview, and I was like, oh, she's coming in, or anyone, if we talk about Mismatched, or we just talk about YouTube in general, I have never heard one person say a negative thing about you. Whether they know you personally, have come across you, have watched one video, have watched a clip of your show, I've never heard anyone say anything negative about you. Not once. And I feel like you're the people's person. You know how like The Rock was like the people's person? I feel like you are the people's person.
Really?
Yeah. Do you feel that?
I mean, honestly, see, I'll be very honest with you. When I started off, next month actually it's going to be 10 years since I started my YouTube channel, which is a whole decade. I don't believe this. When I started off, I had nothing beyond my team and whatever the audience was going to give me. I had absolutely no plan. You knew I was working in radio, and working in radio would be wrong. I was failing at radio miserably. So honestly, everything that has come to me has come because of my community and my team. Every single, and not just about me. Anytime I meet my peers, my co-workers, anyone, they'll always come and tell me that, Prajakta, anytime you post something with us now, your fan clubs are so nice to us. They'll never say a bad thing to us, and they will never put a hate comment, or they'll never, like, they're very supportive. They all start following us, and I like that is the community that has brought me to where I am today. So I owe it all to them. So it makes me very happy that you say that, but it is because of the people. Because otherwise, where on earth would I get the guts to like keep doing content, then do whatever socially relevant stuff I was doing, then go for acting, then go for movies, then write a book, then make a song. Like all of this, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It is. Can you just relax?
It's a
calm down.
lot. But the fact that I remember when Khayali Pulao, which is one of my first acting projects that came out on my YouTube channel, it's a short film that Tarun Dudeja made. Beautiful story. I was so scared because I was like, at this point online, everyone's time and money is so important and the attention is so little.
It's like this.
Yeah, I was like, why will anybody watch something on my channel that they did not subscribe to watch in the first place? They subscribed, kya chalo, there'll be travel vlogs and there'll be comedy videos and she'll draw a mustache on her face and she'll come and she'll act like her brother and her father. And we like that. We followed you for that. Why will anyone watch me being a 16-year-old Haryanvi schoolgirl who wants to play handball for some reason? But that surprised me. The fact that it was accepted the way that it was, the way that was loved, the way it was, the way that was shared, and the places that it reached. Because I remember when we were speaking about Jug Jug Jio, Karan said, that was one of the first things that Karan said to me. He was like, I loved you in Khayali Pulao. And I was like, you watched Khayali Pulao? He's like, yeah, dude, I watched it. I did not expect that to come. And that has only happened because of the community that I have online. So I think I wouldn't have the guts unless the people made me their person, honestly.
I love that. Now grab that headphone there. You don't have to put it on. You just have to put one ear on. I just want to know what you feel. What feeling now do you get when you hear this?
Okay, after that freakishly awkward introduction, hello G. My name is Prajakta and thank you so much for watching my first video on my first channel, Mostly Sane.
We like Sandman.
Why is that the reaction?
Because, see, I'll give it to myself for never deleting a single thing off of my socials in the past 10 years.
Okay.
This video is embarrassing. There's another one that's even more. I'll give it to myself for not deleting it. But I can't watch it.
No?
Can't.
Who was that girl that posted the first YouTube video? Who's that girl and who is she now? If you were to describe that girl in 3 words and yourself now in 3 words, what would that be like?
I feel like she was a lot more scared. Because, so I've never had stage fright or I've never had performance anxiety in front of a camera or on stage or stuff like that. When I was in school and college, I was always on stage. I did theatre commercially, whatever. I think radio, the fact that I planned all my life to work at radio and that crashed and burned kind of hit me in a way that I couldn't deal with it. Like, I was almost overconfident that I'm going to be the best radio jockey this country's ever seen. Like, there's no 2 ways about it. Till I got a show and I heard myself and I was like, this is terrible. Why would anyone listen to this? I wasn't having fun doing it. I was very, very sad when I was working
That
radio.
makes me sad.
No, but I think it was a me thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think I was good enough for the medium. I honestly say that. Because if I was, I would be the first person to say it. I don't think I was good enough for radio. So when YouTube started, first of all, I was so scared because I didn't know what I was doing. I remember Sudeep, who was with One Digital Entertainment then, he met me and he said that, you know what, Prajakta, you should make YouTube videos. And I was like, what does that mean? So when I went to meet him, I thought I'm going for an interview to get a job as a YouTuber in their company.
Okay.
I was like, did I get the job? He's like, what job? I said, are you hiring me as a YouTuber? He's like, I said, for One Digital Entertainment. He's like, are you mad? No, we'll work together. It's your channel. I was like, how does that work? It's a very funny story, but when we discussed the commercials of it, okay, this is this and this is going to be, itna hoga, okay, suppose X and Y. So the X was the bigger amount, the Y was the smaller amount. And in my head, I'm like, I'm very happy with the Y.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think that I'll get so much money. Every 100 rupees I earn, this much money I'll get.
Yeah.
So 2-3 days went by, and then when I was signing the contract, it said X was mine. So it was just very disorienting for me. I said, why are you giving me more money when you are giving me a job?
Okay.
Like, I don't understand this. Like, what do I pay here? So the whole concept of being a content creator and making content was so alien to me. I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't know what it was going to do for me. So in that video, that was I think the first and hopefully the last time I had fear of being on camera.
Okay.
Yeah, my friend Sampada, my then boyfriend, now fiance Vishank, and my closest friend Sidhali. The 3 of them had come over to help me shoot this video. And I was like, we shot it for 6-7 hours. And then I was like, listen, you all need to leave the room. And then I shot it and I sent it over, whatever. But I was so scared in my head. I was like, anyone with an internet connection for the rest of time is going to have access to this video in some way or the other. And that was a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Just putting yourself out there where the audience is limitless. Anyone in the world can watch at any time. So she was very scared. But definitely a lot less guarded. I think she was a lot more open to just taking the leap without thinking too much.
But I think that comes with age too. I think as
100%.
when you're younger,
I
you're
was
willing to take
21,
a risk.
exactly.
You know?
I also didn't know better. Like there isn't an objective decision I could have made because it's not like I knew better.
Right.
Now also I don't know better, but in different things.
Yeah.
Newer things. So still learning. I feel like I'm a lot more guarded now. I'm a lot more in control. I was a little all over the place for the first 5-6 years as a creator. I think I've held on to the leashes a little tighter now.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy.
Now, one last question about just creating content, because I think a lot of people do look up to you. I consider you one of the OG YouTubers, you know, when it comes to, especially out of India. Like, I feel like it's a proud thing for me, too, to watch not just an Indian creator, a female Indian creator who's gone on to go to so many big platforms, global platforms, whether you're fighting for climate change, whether you're having really serious discussions, whether you're getting Michelle Obama to send you a book that's signed.
Dude, that was so crazy.
That's crazy. Like, that's
and
crazy.
That came after a lockdown because I remember shooting with her in the Feb of 2019. And I think I came back from that trip, and when I was flying back, I had a transit through London where I saw that COVID had reached Singapore. And that was the last trip I took.
Wow.
And then lockdown happened. A year after that, after everything's opened up, the book has come to me signed with my name.
That's so
Can
cool.
you believe it?
That's
It's
just
Michelle Obama.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And that girl from that first video would have never imagined that
Never.
something
None
like
of
that
this.
happened. But now, obviously, content creation is a lot more prominent. I feel like when you started, it wasn't the biggest thing.
It wasn't.
No,
Yeah.
you know, there were not that many people doing it.
Yeah.
However, now it's like a different story.
Yeah.
Just one piece of advice to someone who's just starting out. One thing that they can just keep in mind when they're making a video.
Can I say two?
Yes.
Okay.
You could do whatever you want. It's yours. I'm just saying one just because.
There's never going to be a better time than right now. A lot of times as creatives, we keep waiting for a good time to drop this and a good time to drop that. Like, I want to measure when the attention span of my... There's never going to be a better time than now. You will never wake up thinking that, okay, now, today is the day I start making content. If you want to do it, if you're really serious about it, just do it now.
Yeah.
You know, because it's only going to keep escalating. And I've said this all the time. It's a wave. You surf or you swim. There is no sitting on the shore that's going to happen.
Right.
Eventually, with the way that digital economies are going, everyone is a creator. Yeah. So you start now if you want to start. And secondly, nothing works as well as consistency. It's a very, very long game. It's not something... Your second video could go viral and get you 10 million followers, and your third video could get you cancelled. You never know what is going to happen.
Yeah.
But the only thing that's constant in this very bizarre world of creation, bizarre but also fun world of creation, is that you show up for yourself every single day and you create that piece of content that you told yourself, whatever your discipline is around it. I came to realize that it's a very solitary process. It can get very disorienting for one person. You know, you're sitting in your room every day, you're creating content. So I think having that discipline, having that behavioral pattern of making sure that you know what you're doing and treating it like a job consistently helps with showing up every day.
Now, you said there's no better time than to just drop the content.
Yeah.
So we have to talk about what you've dropped this month. It's your book.
The book, yes.
It's your book.
Oh my God.
Is it too good to be true? Is it too good to be true?
I mean, so weird. I didn't think of this title long enough now, did it? Did I? Because like anytime someone asks me, is the book too good to be true? I don't know if I should say yes or no. You know what I mean? I mean, it is titled that.
It's fueling the anxiety that you're trying to run away from.
I'm like, it is the title, but I really hope you like it when you read it. It is called Too Good to Be True, yes. And I have been working on it for 1.5 years now. I'm so happy that it finally releases. I'm scared, very, very nervous, but at the same time, I'm very excited.
Love it.
I love it.
You love it.
I love it.
In and out, you're like, I love this book.
Yeah, I have read it like 60 times because anytime I would work on a new chapter, because there's so many things happening, I can't pick up where I left off. So if I'm working on chapter 23, I have to read the first 22 chapters to start writing ahead of 23.
I see.
Um,
But I feel like a year and a half is a very short time.
for a book?
Yeah, is that not short? Clearly, I'm not a novelist, so
Sorry.
I have no idea about. I feel like that's fast, no?
I have
With
no clue.
with all the things that you're doing, how did you even find the time?
I mean, I had when I started writing in the March of 2023, I had told my publishers that I'll give you the first copy in August.
Oh, okay, so
August of 23. I said July 31st, maximum 15th August. I said you'll have the copy. Also, I had just finished shooting Mismatch season 3. I had no work
okay,
lined up.
okay, got it.
for me till the 1st of August. So between April and August, I had nothing.
Right.
But in my head, it's not just that. No, it's not just having time. You also need to have ideas, and you also need to I read this quote somewhere that said that it's writing is not tough. Sitting down to write is tough.
Huh.
You sit, but reaching that point where the words actually start coming out, that can sometimes be a very steep uphill climb.
Yeah.
Some days for me that was 10 minutes. Some days for me it was all day, and then I would just get up not having anything written. It was very, very erratic. The only rule I followed was that when I did start writing a chapter, I didn't stop midway.
Okay, you just finished
Yeah.
it however it was.
However,
You'll come
I was
back
like,
to
even if
it.
it's a bad chapter, I'll come back to it tomorrow, but I want to finish this chapter. And I think that's how. I think we have about 56 or 57 chapters in the book. It's 307 pages. I have no clue.
That's a lot. That's what I'm
Dude,
saying.
it's
Yo,
so-
dude, a year's a long time.
It's mad.
I mean, a short time. not a
No,
long
I
time.
don't know how it is. I remember when I touched 180 pages, I picked up Paulo Coelho's Alchemist.
Yeah.
I said, if this book can be 200 pages, my book can be 200 pages. It's fine. I don't have to feel pressure to write more.
Now, it's a romance, and I
is.
know you love romance.
I love.
Is there a reason why you wanted to create a romance book? Because you enjoy to read, you love to read, you
Yeah.
love to do that. But why did you want to take those thoughts and create a romance novel?
So I've always wanted to write.
Okay.
Honestly. For many years now. I just, again, never had the guts to put anything I've written out. I started slowly doing it on my blog. There's a blog called mostlysane.in where every time I would travel, I would journal. And some of those pieces I would kind of edit for my blog and put it up. But that was the most. I was like, I also genuinely think that is the most anyone can bear themselves to the audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you show them your writing. I mean, it's one thing to put a good morning selfie and what you ate and stuff like that. But when you write, I think that's when you are actually just very open and vulnerable. It's the chest congestion.
It's fine, guys. We're creating new words. She's an author. She can do whatever
Yes, I
she
know
wants.
what I'm saying.
She can create any word that she wants. Can you give us a little bit about the story, with obviously without giving it
Of
away?
course, yeah. But can I finish what I was saying?
Yeah, sure, of course.
No, so that's why romance. I've always enjoyed watching it and I always wanted to create romance. Anytime I would travel also, I would look for meet cutes and try to develop
Yeah.
real life into fiction and okay, if this was like that, how would I write it as a story? So when it came to writing during the lockdown, I worked on a couple of ideas. Some of them went to production houses, to OTT platforms, and then this one I kept to myself. But I love romance and I only want to ever create and write romance.
I love that.
But about the book, so it's Aman and Avni's story. Avni is about 23. She's studying to be a lawyer. And Aman is, he is a stereotypical male main character from a romance novel. He's a billionaire CEO of a textile company, youngest CEO that Raina Textiles has ever seen. He's 31, he's hot, he's tall, he's broad, and he's impeccably dressed, and he smells great.
Sold. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
He's everything. He's charming. He's the perfect male main character. And Avni has a very different life. She has had a way that her childhood's been very different from anyone else's. Her idea of family is very different from anyone else's. But she has a world that she's created for herself where she works at a bookstore called Bombay Bound, which is owned by one of her best friends, Ria's family. So she works there for 4 hours in the morning and then she goes to university. And in Bombay Bound, there's a little cafe that's run by another friend of hers. They've made friends there called Martin, who's from Goa. There's another friend of theirs, Maya. So it's this little world that she has, and she's been very happily content there till this man walks in. And he has veins and also it's great.
That was a specific thing that you said. There was why the veins?
Dude, you know,
were like,
I had to get into a whole conversation with my editor about this. What I had written. And she's like, what? I said, you need to understand what I'm trying to say here, Pallavi.
this is for the book girlies.
Yeah,
I get
it
it. I get
is.
it. The romance
Yeah.
book girlies. That's really exciting. And obviously, because you just can't do one thing, you have to do 100 things at the same time, Prajakta. You've also decided to create a soundtrack for this book.
have.
And this is the song.
बाजार में तेरा ही तो नाम था यूं पुकार
That is actually you singing.
तो ख्वाबों का
Well, what? How?
And lots of modern electronic.
It's fine. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that part. It's you singing. Who made that decision?
I remember, I think in June of 24, I think, we were working. I think this is the most proactive I've been about anything I've created.
It's because you really wanted to do
Yeah.
this, right? Like
Yeah.
it's something that came out of you that
Yeah.
you like little Prajakta really wanted to do this one
100%.
day. So
So I remember calling the team and I said, you know what, like we have to start work. And I'd not, no, this was before June. I'd not even submitted my final manuscript. I don't know, no, June only. Final manuscript also was not sent or anything. So I called the team and I said, listen, we have to work on a plan to how we want this launch thing to be. I'm also very aware that as much as I've found my community of readers online, I know that a huge chunk of my audience is not readers. But a lot of them like music.
yeah.
So I was trying to think, I said, how do I get them interested in the book? Even if you don't want to buy the book and listen and read it, you can listen to it on Audible. There's going to be that option. But I need you to be interested about the story. Like, I want you
Yeah.
to feel intrigued about Aman and Avni. Like, how do I get you interested in the romance of the idea that the book comes with? That's when I called GP. I said, do you think we can do like a soundtrack? Because a lot of books that we read, do you read romance?
Yes.
Okay, good. So like a lot of books that you read will always have like a playlist page, right? Where they'll tell you that if you're listening to this book, you can reading this book, you can just play this music because that goes with the
It gives you the
chapters,
feeling,
it
the
gives you
vibe.
feeling.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's one that I always wanted, like a musical kind of translation of how I felt when I was writing this book. And number two is that I wanted to sell the book. I don't know how else
The
to say
bottom
this.
line is the bottom line.
Yeah, like I want you to
Yeah.
get interested in
Yeah.
reading my book, and I'll be very honest about it. This was
It's
a
great.
part of the marketing plan where I was like, I need you to like. This is like a trailer
Yeah,
of
yeah.
what I could write.
Yeah, but
and
that's
I think
great.
Aditya Vansky, who's the artist of the song, really came through because he has made and sent this song to us on 2 hours notice.
It's beautiful.
Right? I love it. I was flying out to Mussoorie, Landor to shoot this, and we didn't have a song till a day before we flew out. And I remember calling Karthik. I was like, you know what? We shoot. I said, we'll figure out a song. I don't know what. A day before we flew out, he sent me the song. We've locked everything down. Starving Artist Films, Rahul Datta, who shot it. He was shooting something else in Chandigarh. He's traveled overnight to Mussoorie. We've shot. We saw the first snowfall of the season.
Wow.
We were walking, we were done, okay? We were packed up. Okay, chalo, done now, let's go home. And we were walking back and like, I see this flake. And then it was the first snowfall. It never even snows this early in Mussoorie. So it all came together so magically. And then when I heard it, I'm very happy with the kind of reactions that the song has been getting online. So I'm very grateful.
It's going to be amazing. Too Good to Be True is officially out, so you can grab it in your good bookstores. I've ordered it on
Yeah.
Amazon, so you can get it on Amazon.
Or you
as
can
well.
listen to it. There's also an
There's-
audiobook.
which you've done,
Which
right?
is, yes, which I have narrated.
Yeah, so now the question is, we have to talk about Mismatch because I have
Yes,
so many
let's.
questions because I just finished it the other day and it destroyed me completely.
Do you hate Dimple?
I have a love-hate relationship with her right now. Would you turn the book into a series or a movie?
Oh, 100%.
And why would Hrithik Roshan and you star in it? Please tell me. Because obviously I'm not going to
I've
ask
been a
you.
little torn between Henry Cavill and Hrithik Roshan. I'm going to be honest with you, Preeti.
Are you going to turn your back on your first love?
But see, that's the never.
You described a guy, okay, billionaire, rich man, in a suit, veins.
Wayne's dimples and brown eyes.
You know, okay, well, we'll have to change the eyes.
Yeah, we'll have to change the eyes.
So
And get rid of the dimples. Yeah.
So what do you think?
I mean,
Or Henry Cavill. I mean, whatever you want. Maybe you can do both. Maybe Henry Cavill can be Martin. I don't know.
no.
No, he can't be from Goa. Maybe Ritik can be from Goa. Maybe Ritik can be Martin.
Maybe I do an English and a Hindi version where I play Avni in both places. So that I
Yes.
get to be Avni and Aman with Ritik and Avni and Aman with Henry and everybody wins.
I love that for you.
Would you watch both the movies?
I would 100% watch both movies. But honestly, have you thought about that?
100%.
Yeah?
I remember we were very clear about this in our mind because when I started writing the book also, I was actually developing long form show ideas that I wanted to pitch to production houses and OTT platforms. So this was one of those ideas. So the idea was always to adapt it. It just happened to go through this book route. This was
see.
never the plan. So yeah, we kept the rights with us. And we're going to work on it. I think a movie more than a show. Yeah.
Would this be a book series or no?
We were just discussing this morning that I actually have a trope in mind for the second book, which is from this universe where I can make it a series. But I also have this other very exciting idea about a collection of short stories around romance. So I'm a little torn in between what to work on first. I think I'm going to see how this world gets picked up.
Right.
And how people like Avni and Aman's world, and then see if I want to develop more on that. But now that I know how it is, hopefully it's not that challenging for me the second time around.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm super excited to read it. Like, I literally cannot wait to read
Okay,
this book.
good.
It's going to
I'm
be so
excited.
exciting. And then eventually watch both movies in English and in Hindi.
both.
Let's talk about acting for you.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mismatched was such a brilliant show, season 1 when it came out. I think it was COVID times, right? When it came out, I think it was
2020, yes.
20, yeah. And I think
July.
everyone was just captivated by this story. Everyone was just wrapped in Dimple. Where is she going to go? What is going to happen? And then this love story. And now we just finished season 3, which ended, I don't want to spoil it, but if you haven't watched it by now, seriously, where have you
Yeah,
been?
like it's been a month now.
Still, I feel like that's not long enough.
But
I won't
the
spoil.
holidays were also there.
Yeah, that's also true. I don't want to spoil it because
Okay,
then
don't spoil
you won't get canceled because you're nice. I'll get canceled.
No, I got cancelled already for being Dimple.
Okay, that's a very valid question. The way it ends, there's been a lot of chatter about, is Dimple making the wrong decision? Is she the toxic one in this relationship? What was your feelings when you read that script?
Honestly, for me, I would never judge her because I love Dimple. I mean, she's been with me for 5 years now. And she's so close to me at this point. So I never really looked at it if she was wrong or she was right. She wasn't in the right place, I think. It wasn't the right time and the right place. And for me, honestly, I thought that the last scene was when they've both acted like they're finally on the same page.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they've been mismatched all their life, and that is why they work. But they've always been on different pages. He's been ahead, she's been behind. Sometimes she went ahead and he was behind, and they were never kind of on the same page. In the last scene is when they're finally on the same page, and he gets where she's coming from and she gets what he's saying, is why there's no conflict finally.
Yeah.
I thought that was beautiful. It was also a very matured thing for both of them to do. I think when you are in love with someone, you know you want it to be right. And you want to make sure that you take careful steps now rather than kind of hastily go into it and then know that it's not going to work out because you should have just taken care of it before. So heartbreaking because I'm a huge Rishi Dimple fan.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking. Every time Rohit and I have watched that scene, forget Rohit and I watched that, every time I've dubbed that scene, I have cried. Like, there are pictures I've sent to Rohit and I'm like, oh my God.
Just in case you didn't get it, they didn't make it.
We don't know that completely.
At least in that scene, they didn't make it.
I like that it's such a complex yet very simple telling of an emotion.
Yeah.
So heartbreaking, yes, but then that's romance. No?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it can't be that simple.
Yeah, it
You know
can't.
what I
It can't
mean?
be that easy. That's
Yeah.
not a show either, right?
Yeah.
You need a little bit of like.
Yeah, you need a little bit like, if everything was good, then they would be matched. Nah. Why would they be mismatched?
What else is coming up for you acting wise? Obviously, you did Juk Juk Jio, loved you in that.
Yeah.
Anything else coming up for you acting wise?
I've got a show coming up on Prime Video, I think in the first half of this year. It's a psychological thriller.
Oh, very different.
Very, very different from anything I've ever done before. And anything I've watched also before. Like, I'm not particularly a thriller fan. That's all Rashank. But it's a very interesting concept. Also, because it was so different and very new to me, I was very excited to do it. So I think that comes out sometime in the next few months. We hear about it. It's called Andhera.
Nice.
Yeah, that's exciting. I'm working on another very touchwood exciting Netflix project.
Ooh.
It's again very different from anything I've done before, but again, it's one of those things that, you know how when you're planning like your life as a creator, as a artist, you always think that is zone mein kuch, in this zone something should happen for me. I think this is one of those zones. I'll tell you more about it after, so you'll know what I'm saying. But that, the book, and then a couple of very important life events.
Yes, the life events.
Yeah.
So now you do something on your YouTube called Saval Saturdays,
I
which
do.
means questions. So I also reached out to people on my
I saw
Instagram.
your story, yes.
I said,
I
would
was
you...
so tempted to put in something, and I was like, but let me meet her once before she thinks I'm too cheeky.
No, it's fine. I love it. Oh, actually, can I just ask you one last question about Mismatch? Because it's been on my mind before we get into that. There's a scene particularly between you and Ranvijay.
Yes. I know which one you're talking about.
You cried for real. That was like a one take, you crying for
That wasn't
real
one
scene.
take. It was many takes, actually.
Okay, but that was
Yes.
real raw emotion because I actually told Ranvijay the same thing. I had to pause and walk away, take a breather, and come back.
Yeah.
Because I
think
felt
Ranvijay
it.
is also beautiful in that scene.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he said this to you, but after that scene was cut, him and we've both actually sobbed. Because I remember Ranvijay hugging me and telling me that it's so sad what has happened with Dimple. And I'm like, I'm so glad that she has you. Both these characters are fictional.
Yeah. But that's what
But
happens,
the
right?
emotion of it, and I think the way that story was told, that scene was also so beautiful. What is wrong? So beautifully directed, and the build-up of that was so heartbreaking. I think it's my favorite scene with Ranvijay ever.
I just want to commend you guys on that.
Thank
Honestly,
you.
this season is one of those where every episode
Yeah.
you felt a certain way.
Yeah.
There was never a moment where you didn't feel sad, happy, anxious, angry. There was an emotion that you felt at every end. But that scene in particular was
Thank you. I'm
really
so glad you liked it. Thank you.
Okay, so Saval Saturdays is a bit that you do. And so here's some questions that came through. Feel free to not answer if you don't feel like answering. So AD_Malhotra said, can we expect Mismatch season 4?
We can expect.
But is it happening?
That I don't know. Hopefully Netflix tells us something soon.
Come on. There has to be. You can't leave us like that. If you leave us like that, then we will be upset.
I am as upset. I remember speaking to the team at Netflix, and I was like, hey, Happy New Year. I said, Happy New Year and all is okay, but like what now?
Yeah.
You want to tell us something? And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, Prajakta, we'll get back.
Okay.
We'll let you know. So
All right,
we don't
hurry up. Circle back quicker.
Yeah.
Okay, Sakina wants to know what motivates you to do so many things and how do you keep up with all your projects? We touched a little bit on that, but
I think I just keep up because I have a team that knows what they're doing. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to get through a single day without them. And why I do this is because I think I feel like I get very incompetent with monotony. If I do the same, if my day looks the same every single day, I'll lose interest in it. And that's one of my favorite things about my job, that every day doesn't look the same. And which is why no matter what's happening, I'll always wake up because there's a new thing to do every day.
yeah, I love that. I like that. Okay, Shrishti wants to know what was the first book that got you hooked on reading? Hers was Hunger Games.
Reading in general or reading romance?
I guess you can give both.
Both?
Really.
The first book I very vividly remember was The Diary of a Young Girl, which is Anne Frank's diary, which
Yeah.
my mum gifted to me when I was in the 9th grade. I'd read like a lot of Famous Fives and Secret Sevens and Hardy Boys before that, Nancy Drews, but this was the one that really got me hooked to reading. Another very pivotal point in my reading journey was Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. I think that just opened up a whole new world for me. And with romance, it was Set on You by Amy Lear.
Okay. And you were in. You were
I
like,
was
this is
in.
my
I
world.
mean, I read the locker room scene and I was like, you're allowed to write these things? You can print this and sell it in every store and anybody can pick it up. And the cover looks so innocent, pink color with cartoons on it. I said, what are y'all doing, friends?
Yeah, I love that. Okay, Rasha says your outfits are always on point.
Really?
Who's your go-to for Indian wear?
Anita Dongre.
Okay, I
Yeah.
love that.
I love that because there's everything, right? With Anita, like the other day I was at Anita's studio and you can do like an Anita Dongre or you can do, I'm wearing Global Desi right now.
Love global.
Yeah,
love
so
it.
you can
love
do
it. Love
Global
it.
Desi or you can do grassroots. And there's so much to explore, like whatever your mood is.
Yeah.
And with the whole promotional thing with the book, I told her, I said, I want to do a little bit of like Indian with these jhumkas.
I love
and
it,
stuff. Yeah. So, Anita.
Okay, great. And the last question that I would like to ask you is, what do you refer to yourself as? Because you're a content creator, YouTuber, you're an actress, you're now an author. What do you not want a label?
Creator, I think.
You still feel that you are a creator.
100%, because I feel like that kind of applies to everything that I do in some way or the other, no?
Yeah.
I mean, anything you're doing, whether you're on a set, whether you're writing, whether you're making content, whether you're speaking about things you're passionate about, there's some kind of creation of art that's happening. And I like that. I like that there's no, क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Terms and conditions to the term.
Right. It's just
creator.
all encompassing,
Yeah.
and whatever that means
Yeah.
in 20 years, it means.
Whatever it means.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I feel like I've taken far too much of your time, and I feel like
I'm
I can
having such a good time.
I can talk to you forever and ever. But please go get the book. It's called Too Good to Be True. Make sure you read it. Check out the soundtrack because Prajakta is singing for the first time ever, and she did. Well, this is your first song, right?
Let's call it that. I wouldn't want them to think of the other two songs as songs I've sung.
Well, there are some great gold songs that you can find on her YouTube channel, mostly
my
Sane,
God.
which I absolutely love. At least I didn't put clips of that in.
Yeah, thank you.
At least I got you there.
Yeah, thank you.
So go and check out the book. It's available on Amazon or any of your bookstores. And best of luck to you. I
Thank you,
hope
Preeti.
to see it on the big screen with Ritik
my
and
God.
Henry very soon.
I love that we have agreed and casted them between
Manifest
the two of us.
in
Putting
the
it out of
universe.
Love it.
It's happening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Virgin Radio.